Here's something that ought to make us all feel a bit better about the future: watching Norsk Hydro recycle aluminum. And folks, this isn't just feel-good environmentalism. It's brilliant engineering and economics rolled into one. Think about this. Producing virgin aluminum from bauxite ore is incredibly energy-intensive. You're essentially using electricity to break apart the chemical bonds in aluminum oxide. It takes massive amounts of power. But recycling? That saves 95% of that energy. 95%! That's not a typo. Watch as that scrap aluminum gets loaded into the furnace. Could be old window frames, scrapped car parts, used beverage cans. Doesn't matter. Aluminum is aluminum, and it can be recycled infinitely without losing its properties. That's different from plastic, which degrades each time you recycle it. The furnace heats up to around 300 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt aluminum but controlled carefully to avoid oxidation. See that molten metal glowing? That's the same quality as newly smelted aluminum, but it got here using a fraction of the energy. Now here's where it gets technical. As the aluminum melts, impurities rise to the surface as dross. That's the crusty stuff you see being skimmed off. Salt flux is often added to help separate out contaminants. The operators are constantly monitoring the chemistry, sometimes adding small amounts of alloying elements to hit the exact specification needed. Once the melt is clean and the chemistry is right, it gets poured into molds or casting machines. Some facilities use continuous casting, where molten aluminum flows into a water-cooled mold and emerges as a solid billet or sheet, moving continuously like an aluminum river turning to metal. Norsk Hydro, being one of the world's largest aluminum companies, has refined this process to an art. They've got facilities that can process hundreds of thousands of tons of scrap annually. Every ton of recycled aluminum prevents about 4 tons of bauxite from being mined and keeps about 8 tons of carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. Remember when recycling bins first showed up in our neighborhoods back in the 80s and 90s? This is where those aluminum cans end up, and incredibly, a recycled can could be back on the shelf as a new can in as little as 60 days. Now this is a machine that would have saved countless hours in the old fabrication shops. The Akyapak Akbend AHS 3135, a 4-roll hydraulic plate roller that bends sheet metal with the kind of precision our fathers could only dream about. See those 4 rollers? That's the secret sauce. In the old 3-roll machines, you'd always end up with flat sections at both ends that you'd have to cut off, pure waste. But this 4-roll design grips that sheet right from the start. The top rollers clamp down while the bottom rollers do the bending work, and you end up with almost no straight edge left over. The 30 in its model number tells you it can handle plates up to 30 millimeters thick. That's over an inch of solid steel. And 135 means it can roll cylinders up to 135 millimeters in diameter. That's serious capability. What makes this hydraulic system special is the control. The operator can adjust pressure on the fly, making micro adjustments to get that perfect radius. Whether you're rolling a storage tank, a pressure vessel, or architectural metalwork, consistency is everything. Notice how smoothly that plate feeds through? The machine's 4-axis control means all 4 rollers are coordinated by computer, maintaining even pressure across the entire width. No warping, no flat spots. Just smooth, continuous curves. This kind of equipment has revolutionized industries from shipbuilding to HVAC manufacturing. It's taken what used to be an art form requiring years of experience and made it repeatable, precise, and efficient. The old-timers would appreciate that. You know, back in the day, steel wire was something we'd see coming off those old manual mills, sparks flying everywhere. But what Patini's doing today? It's a whole different ball game, folks. Welcome to their state-of-the-art facility, where tradition meets cutting-edge technology. The journey starts in their electric arc furnace, where scrap steel gets melted down at temperatures exceeding 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It's like watching lightning trapped in a crucible. Once molten, the steel flows into continuous casting machines that form it into billets. Those are solid rectangular bars, typically 8 by 8 inches. Now here's where it gets fascinating. These billets head to the rolling mill, where they pass through a series of progressively smaller dies. Think of it like making pasta, but with steel that's hotter than lava. Each pass reduces the diameter while increasing the length. What started as a chunky billet becomes a thin rod through this continuous hot rolling process. But we're not done yet. The wire rod then goes through a process called drawing. It's pulled through diamond-coated dies at incredible speeds. Some lines run at over 100 feet per second. Between each drawing stage, the wire gets heat-treated in controlled atmospheres to maintain its strength and flexibility. This annealing process is crucial. It's what gives the wire its characteristic properties. Finally, the wire gets coiled onto massive spools, each weighing several tons. Patini's automated systems ensure consistent diameter, tensile strength, and surface quality. From construction rebar to delicate springs, their wire finds its way into thousands of applications. It's American manufacturing ingenuity at its finest, producing millions of tons annually with precision our grandfathers could only dream of. You know, back in the day, cutting threads meant hours of manual work on a lathe, turning that handle until your arms ached. But what we're seeing here is something our grandfathers would have called magic. A CNC mill creating perfect threads with a specialized thread mill cutter. Now here's what makes this fascinating. That cutter you're watching isn't just spinning in circles like a regular drill bit. It's actually following a helical path. Think of it like climbing a spiral staircase while the workpiece stays perfectly still. The CNC controller is commanding 3 axes simultaneously, X, Y, and Z, moving in perfect harmony to trace that thread profile. What's remarkable about thread milling compared to the old tap and die method? Well, one single cutter can produce multiple thread sizes. Just change the toolpath programming. With thread milling, if something goes wrong, you just back the cutter out. The cutter itself is engineered with multiple flutes, those cutting edges you see spiraling around it. Each one is ground to match the exact thread form, whether it's a standard 60-degree V-thread or something more specialized. The carbide tips stay sharp through thousands of threads, maintaining that crisp, clean profile. The machine's spindle is rotating at maybe 2,000 to 4,000 RPM, while the feed rate carefully controls how fast it advances. What you're witnessing is precision manufacturing at its finest, threads accurate to within thousandths of an inch, ready for aerospace, automotive, or medical applications. Here's something that connects us right back to the blacksmith shops of yesteryear. Except now, it's happening with the precision and power of modern hydraulics. This is Qinfeng Machine Tool Group's warm forging press, and it's transforming how household items get made. Watch closely as that glowing billet gets positioned. The metal's been heated to just the right temperature, not quite the bright orange of traditional hot forging, but warm enough to flow under pressure. This is what they call warm forging, and it's brilliant because it combines the best of both worlds. The press descends with tremendous force, and in seconds, that shapeless chunk becomes a precisely formed part. Could be a wrench, a kitchen utensil, or a component for your car. Qinfeng's presses serve everything from automotive and motorcycle parts to medical devices and hand tools. Here's the genius of it. By operating at this intermediate temperature, manufacturers skip several machining steps they'd normally need. That means lower costs and less waste. The process gives you stronger parts too. The metal's grain structure aligns with the part's shape, just like wood grain in a carved handle. Remember stretching chain link fence by hand? Your back probably still remembers too. Well, watch this machine work. It's doing everything automatically, and it's something to see. This automated weaving machine takes straight wire and transforms it into chain link fence without a single hand touching the material. First, it bends the wire into that distinctive zigzag pattern. Then, and this is the clever part, it weaves these zigzags together, interlocking them just like you'd weave fingers together. As each section completes, the machine cuts it to length, then bends or twists the ends to lock everything in place. Finally, it rolls the finished fence onto spools, ready to ship.